I'm curious, do you have a flexible mindset? And I'm asking you, whether you're a student or a parent or an educator, do you have a flexible mindset? And more importantly, how do you know that you have a flexible mindset? I'm asking this question because today I want to introduce you to a very special person. This is Susanna Cole. Hi, Susanna. And she is an anti-boring approach trained coach. But more importantly, she is the brand new co-author of a book that is just coming out about flexible mindset. So Susanna, welcome.
Thank you. So happy to be here.
Will you show us the book first of all? Yay, there it is. Now, what is a flexible mindset?
Wouldn't you like to know?
I would like to know.
I have some tips today. I have some tips for students about how they can build a flexible mindset. I have some tips for educators about what they might want to think about to build their flexible mindset, and also for coaches that might help them to have a little bit more of a flexible mindset. But I'm not going to tell you what a flexible mindset is until after I show you these strategies.
Okay, cool. And well, hold on a second. Even before the strategies, I want to just say that you came into my world to get trained in my toolkit while you had already started writing this book. And then you were so excited by the anti-boring approach toolkit that you even incorporated it into one of your chapters in the book, right?
I did. Because I own this book, I even highlighted in the book where Gretchen Wagner and the Art of Inspiring Students to Study Strategically makes a showcase it is in page 70, chapter 5. Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. And I know we don't know what a flexible mindset is yet, but do tell us, why did the anti-boring approach toolkit feel like it just meshed in your concept for what flexible mindsets are?
One of the things I loved most about taking the Art of Inspiring Students was that it was focused on not only the strategies, but also the brain science and why it's so important to use strategies to support learning. And a big part of a flexible mindset is around using strategies to figure out how to do whatever it is we want to be able to do. And to be able to do that with agency and to feel like we have choice and we have freedom. And so when I took that course, it was just like, for me, the missing piece to working with students so that I could help them to feel like they were in charge of their own learning and they knew how to do it.
I love it. I love that you found the ABA tools, as we like to call them, the missing piece. And one of the things I'm so excited about is the educators that come and stay in my club, and I'm so glad you have stayed, is you each bring your own special sauce to the table. And this flexible mindsets piece is so brilliant and unique to you and your co-author, Julie, but I've not met Julie. So lay it on us, Susanna. Give us the tips so that we can see whether we have a flexible mindset and how to further develop it.
So we'll start with students. So students, when you have main topics, main headings, when you see information listed that you need to learn about, do you turn them into a question? And I say this because when you turn anything you see, it can say osmosis, it can say World War II. When you turn that into simply, what is osmosis? What happened in World War II? The minute you do that, our brains, they actually can't help but go searching for the answer. And so it's like the quickest and simplest way to activate your brain and just start getting into the learning process.
Great.
So that's tip number 1 for students.
Okay, so turn facts into questions or turn headings into questions.
Anything into a question, you're just going to activate your brain, and that's going to get you to learning. For educators, this is a big part of what we believe is so important. We talk about transforming our educational systems, and we can't do that overnight. But there is one big piece that educators can start doing right now in their classroom. And that would be to start normalizing not knowing. We spend so much of our time in classrooms helping students to figure out the right answer. We often reward speedy producers of the one right answer. And we end up getting students who, when they don't know, they get shy, they get embarrassed, they feel afraid to express what they don't know. But not knowing is where all the learning happens. So if we switch the dynamic in our classrooms and we started to get excited when someone puts up in their hand and they're like, I don't know, I have no clue about this. We should be like getting so excited. Yes, because that's where the learning happens. If you already know something, you're not actually learning. So that little switch in your classroom, just to start to help even students understand that it's the power of learning is in what we don't know, not in what we already know.
And this is why we're so like this, right? Is because that's one of the basic mindsets inside the anti-boring approach, is to normalize not and celebrate not knowing.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So what about coaches?
And then you coaches out there. So one of the gifts of being a coach is that you get to build this relationship with a student where you get to see how they work. You get to see what they're doing that's helping them to succeed in school, and you get to see what's not really working for them. And you get to help them identify for themselves what systems, mindsets, habits, what is going to work for them to help them to reach their goals. And I think you're in such a privileged position as a coach to be able to have insight into that level of awareness. And then that's really where any kind of shift or change happens. It's in the awareness. So as a coach, when you can notice for students, I notice that you're doing this, or I notice that that's not happening right now. I wonder if that's having some impact on your learning. And so I just feel like that opportunity as a coach to see students for who they are and to be able to reflect that back to them so that they can learn from that is just such an amazing opportunity. So in our book, we call that knowing what works when. And as a coach, you get to have all that insight to be able to help a student to see that for themselves.
Awesome. Awesome. So listeners out there, can you tell what a flexible mindset is based on the clues in these tips? You could pause and think about it if you want to, but otherwise, Susanna, go ahead and tell us now, what is a flexible mindset?
So a flexible mindset has 3 components, and it includes having metacognitive awareness, which is being able to think about your own learning.
Okay, so that's one for students.
Yep.
Asking questions.
Yep. It also includes I can messages, which is that belief that your brain can grow, it can get smarter, that you can, dig in, persevere, and get through things. That's the second component. And then the third one is strategy, executive function processes. And that's all about having adaptive strategies that you can apply to your learning to actually do something different.
Great. And so when we have all 3 of the, do all 3 of them count as a flexible mindset, or is that just something that we're always kind of cycling in to try and get better and better at?
Yes, so we are cycling through all of those. All of those things are important, not one more than the other. They're inextricably linked. They are constantly interacting. And when they are interacting together, the big goal is to be a self-directed learner. And a self-directed learner is someone who puts mental effort towards reaching their goals. They use curiosity. They're driven by their desire to learn. They're lifelong learners.
Which is what we all want to be and to cultivate. As well. Yes. Awesome. Well, I can't wait for my book to arrive. And if other people want to buy the book, which by the way, we really encourage you to do, partially because it's super helpful to get those Amazon reviews to help boost books into the public's, whatever word I'm missing right now, awareness.
Yes.
So how can people help?
Yes, the whole point of writing this book is for impact. The more people that are able to access this information and can maybe use some of it in their classrooms. And we would argue that really anyone who's trying to learn, with a flexible mindset, you're gonna have more effective and more productive and probably even happier learning. So going to Amazon, ordering the book, and then when you receive the book, you don't have to read the whole thing. I would love you to get a taste for it, and then to write a review. And those reviews from people who have actually made a purchase from Amazon are what really count and can really help to share that book with a larger community.
Awesome. Well, I'm so thrilled to have had you land inside my community and to help support you through this, and that we get to continue to collaborate together. So yay.
Me too. I'm so grateful for this community and also for all of the insights that I just keep getting from remaining part of your community.
So buy the book, everyone. The link will be down below. And I forgot to make a whiteboard for this, but as always now, if you want more of, you have questions about flexible mindsets, I can't promise Susanna will be there, but you can always show up to gretchenwegner.com/live and you can ask me questions at our monthly free event. So I'll see you there, and let's all read the book. Bye, everyone.